Welcome in to Kosie's Ghost Adventures. Today I'm going to tell you a story called The Man in the Hallway. Lily and Jake were two ordinary siblings, playful and full of life, living in an old house on the outskirts of town. The house, though cozy, had an odd atmosphere to it. It creaked with age, and the air always seemed to carry a chill, even in the warmest months. Even in July and August, it carried a chill inside, guys. The kids did not mind. They spent their afternoons exploring every nook and cranny of the house, as kids do, finding little hidden treasures in forgotten corners. One evening, as the sun began to dip below the horizon, their mother, Sarah, was in the kitchen preparing dinner. She was making some hamburger helper. You remember that stuff, guys? Yep. She could hear the sounds of Lily and Jake laughing and playing in the living room, enjoying themselves. But soon, those sounds grew quieter, as if the children were no longer playing all of a sudden. Sarah assumed they were just tired and settled into the comforting hum of the house. But then she heard it, the faint sound of footsteps in the hallway, soft and deliberate, like someone was walking. But there was no one there. She called out, "Lily! Jake! Where are you?" No answer. Frowning, she walked down the hallway toward the stairs, but there was no one in sight. Just a long, dimly lit hallway stretching out before her. She turned and saw her children standing in the living room, staring intently at the hallway. "Mommy," Jake said softly, his voice trembling. "Look. Mommy, look." Lily, too, was staring down the hall, wide-eyed. Both children were eerily still, their attention focused on the same exact spot in the darkened corridor. She turned and saw her children standing in the living room, staring intently at the hallway. "Mommy," Jake said softly, his voice was trembling. "Look. Look, Mommy," Lily whispered, her voice barely audible, but with an edge of fear. "Look, that man, Mommy. That man." Sarah frowned, following their gaze down the hallway. Her heart began to race, but the space was empty. The shadows in the hallway seemed to stretch unnaturally long at this point, but no figure stood there that she could see. "What man, honey?" Sarah asked, trying to keep her composure and voice steady, but a slight tremor betrayed her growing unease. "I don't see anybody," she said. The children did not respond at first. They just kept staring. Lily's fingers slowly lifted, pointing down the hallway toward the darkened corner where the light from the living room couldn't quite reach. "That man, Mommy," Jake repeated, his voice shaking. "The man in the hallway. Don't you see him? He's standing there. We've seen him before, Mommy." Sarah's stomach twisted, a chill creeping up her spine. She turned back to the hallway, her pulse pounding in her ears. There's the haunted critter again, just in the nick of time. "Lily, Jake, there's no one there," she said, trying to calm them down, though she was beginning to feel a cold sweat trickle down the back of her neck. But then, Lily spoke again, her voice quieter this time, almost in a whisper. "He's gone now, Mommy. He's gone now, Mommy, but he watches us." The blood drained from Sarah's face. Her mind raced What could be talking? What could they be talking about? Who was this man? Why had they seen him before? All the thoughts raced through her mind. Before she could even ask any more, Jake's eyes locked onto hers, filled with pure, innocent fear. Mom, you didn't see him? He was standing right there, in the corner over there. Right in front of you. Right in front of you, Mom. Sarah turned once more, her heart pounding in her chest. She hadn't seen shit. She'd seen nothing. But the unsettling feeling lingered in the pit of her stomach. You can believe that. She shook her head, swallowing her fear. There's no man, kids. It's just shadows. Alright? Let's go back into the living room now. But as she ushered them away, she couldn't shake the feeling of eyes, something watching her. She knew. She had that sensation. Lingering in the dark, the air felt thick as if something was pressing against her chest. That night, Sarah tucked Lillian and Jake into bed. She kissed them goodnight, trying to ignore the anxiety gnawing at her. She turned off the lights and went downstairs to finish up with the dinner. The hamburger helper in the building. Alright. A few hours later, though, she heard the sound of footsteps again, this time heavier and closer. Her heart skipped a couple beats this time. Was someone else in the house, she had thought? She crept down the hallway toward the stairs. As she passed the living room, she froze. In the reflection of the hallway mirror, she saw him. The man. He was standing exactly where Lillian Jake had pointed earlier. His face obscured in the shadows, of course. His body looming in the corner, so still, it was as if he had never ran or moved, never even moved. His presence was cold, unnerving, and Sarah's blood ran cold. She turned around in a panic to face the hallway, but when she looked again, there was no one there. The hallway was empty, just as it had been before. Okay? The man had been there. She had seen him. But when she looked again, he was gone. From that night on, guys, Sarah couldn't shake the fear anymore. She never spoke of what she had seen to the kids, for they are already seeing enough, as we know. The memory of that figure in the dark still haunts her to this day. The man in the hallway was no longer a thing of childhood imagination. He was real. He was watching. Always watching. And sometimes, in the dead of the night, if she listened carefully enough, she could still hear his footsteps echoing softly down the hallway. How's that for a fine bone-chilling story, guys? Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you guys on the next one. And who is in my window? Who is in my window? See you guys later. Bye.